Wow, what a great crowd. Hello, Adriana.
Hello.
Although we were sitting next to each other, it's like to say hello formally. Well, Adriana, can you believe that Latinos, as the second largest majority in the United States, do not have a national museum?
Yeah. If only there were as much enthusiasm about building a museum as there seemed to be about building a fence.
It would be a different world for sure. So, in recognition of their persistent leadership to educate our fellow citizens in the culture, history, and in the art of the American Latino community, we are proud to present the 2007 Hispanic Heritage Award for Education to Representatives Xavier Becerra and Ileana Ros-Lehtinen. And here to accept the award, it's the bill's leader and sponsor, Congressman Xavier Becerra.
I'll come anytime you have someone like the two of these ladies introduce me, so keep inviting me, right? To the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, to all of you who are present, I say thank you very much on behalf of my friend and colleague Ileana Ros-Lehtinen and my Senate colleagues, Senators Ken Salazar, Mel Martinez, and Roberto Menendez, who are co-sponsors of the similar legislation in the Senate side, in our hopes to fulfill the dreams of many people of having one day a museum here in the United States Capitol that will represent all of Americans, and especially the Americans of Latino descent. I am very pleased on behalf of Ileana Ros-Lehtinen and all my colleagues that we have this opportunity to share with you this recognition for something we all deserve. Recently there was a documentary on PBS, many of you may have seen it, The War, by Ken Burns, a renowned producer of fabulous documentaries, and this is another one. But for a time there, for those who watched it, there was not going to be one single mention in this 14-hour series of the accomplishments of the over 500,000 Latinos who fought during World War II. We fought to change that, and there was a small recognition, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And I challenge all of you the next time you are in Galveston, Texas, because that town happens to be named after one of our Civil War heroes that you're not very familiar with, Bernardo de Galvez, who was one of our champions as the general of a force consisting principally of Latinos in those days of Spanish descent. They helped protect the southern flank of George Washington's Revolutionary Army to make sure that today we call ourselves the United States of America, not the United Colonies of England. And I think it's important that we remember Bernardo del Galvez, just as we should remember Jose Gutierrez, who at the ripe age of 22, 2 days into the Iraq War in March of 2003, became one of the very first casualties of our American soldiers in Iraq. A young man who, as an orphan at the age of 14, came to from Guatemala to the United States without documents, and somehow worked his way through high school and to college, and decided to serve his country by enlisting at the age of 21. 1 year and 1 day to the day he enlisted, he was shot and killed in Iraq. We have to remember Bernardo del Galvez, Rosario Dawson, Tony Perez, and Jose Gutierrez, because that is the American history, and that's why we are so proud to be Americans. I thank you very much for this honor. Have a good evening.